Good morning. Welcome to Fallawsophy. I'm your host, Jennifer Fallaw, and today we're going to go over some of the Jentel from yesterday, just in case you do not watch the other show. And then we have a new exercise. It's called self-love exercise. And all you men out there, no jokes, okay? I'm serious about this. I want to check real quick. Somebody sent me something about a Jentel confirm. Oh, I'm not sure about that source, so I'm not going to do that. Righty then. So, sorry. Once again, I'm doing too many things at once. And I'm looking for a banner. Welcome to everybody. I hope we got some admin in there. Pretty sure Gina's probably there. Let's go see. Gina, you in there? Pretty sure she's probably in there. Gina's badass. Marcy and Gina. My badasses. All right, let's do it. So this is interdimensional meditation for yesterday, 2/9/26, 6th level of heaven. Went to the library, met with Jesus, the archangels, and the apostles. RV News. Michael spoke. The Minister of Finance has made a decision to wait until 2/15/26 for a public rate announcement. Matches up with the chatter behind the scenes. The reason for that was political tensions in Iraq, and they need stability, looking for stability. That announcement is scheduled. So they actually scheduled this thing. And other countries' leaders have been informed of that announcement. Coming in the news. Outrage over the Super Bowl halftime. And we're going to see that all week. It's starting to roll out. Liberals, some people think it was wonderful. I have all kinds of opinions. I don't think it was wonderful. It doesn't have anything really to do with the language. Yeah, the language barrier, that was, I don't know. It has everything to do with the message. And the opportunity to send that message to an audience that's bigger than any other. All right, terrorist groups hiding in rural areas in USA emerge. So keep an eye out for that. It may look like more protests. I don't know what it's going to look like. Outrage. But I think that Super Bowl halftime could possibly have been an attempt to produce that kind of situation. I believe the good guys are aware of that and are watching the situation closely. Next one, I saw a plane. It was on the ground. There was an explosion. It looked like in a building behind it. Could have been the plane, but I can still see the plane and the fire too. So I know that yesterday they had an emergency landing. It wasn't that. It didn't look like that. Then we have new executive orders. Keep an eye out for that. Celebrity caught and scandal. So the reveal has begun about the bad guys and their dirty deeds. Congress silent, charges and crimes. I was zoomed into Congress in session to a man. I think he was partially balding. It's just a real quick thing. I couldn't just tell you exactly who it is, but something's going to come out about that. And then Congress is just going to be like, oh, well, nothing to see here. We're not going to talk about that, because they all have their own things to hide. And we have crimes revealed and royalty. And then continental shift, possible earthquakes. If that is the case, that is not good. I know we were looking for a earthquake. It'll happen on a Wednesday after an earthquake. The 15th is not a Wednesday, it is a Sunday. But that is the public announcement of the rate. Who knows when we're going to get notifications. So we'll just have to see. I was not looking for something like a continental shift and the big one with the San Andreas Fault or anything like that. That's something that we've all been afraid of if you grew up anywhere close to California, Southern California, our entire lives. So I usually don't forecast fear. Let's see. Maybe it's something else. Okay. Maybe it's not a big deal. All right. That is the Jentel for this week. It is posted on Fallawsophy on Telegram. If you do not follow me on Telegram, you should. This is my channel on Telegram. I also have Yellow RV Social Club channel on Telegram. I have a Jennifer Fallaw channel on Telegram, and I have 2 chat groups, one attached to Fallawsophy and one attached to Yellow. So you want to join those, and because that's where I'm at. Anything I get, I post it there. You're going to hear it first there, and that's where the Jentel is posted and circulates, and we can speak freely. Okay. So today we have a little more time. Let's see what time is it? And I will try. I'm going to get to the readings too. Okay? So I'll let you know when you can post your Rumble rounds. Don't do it yet or they'll disappear. And that's really hard for us to go back and find them. But today, go back to the journal. So this really is a thoughts over coffee the other day. And I don't always get information in. Well, I could just get information right now, but I don't get information in meditation. Sometimes it's just inspiration that comes to me. And as I walk through my personal journey, my spiritual journey, and I learn things, I share them with you. That's why we're getting all these exercises as we move towards God-centered conscious creation of being a powerful vehicle and source of that high vibrational divine light that you are pulling into you all the time. Well, we want more to create positive outcomes and a positive reality for ourselves. And it is true that the more power you give your body, your vehicle, to function, the easier it will be to heal. So we've started on the inside. We started back in April. If you'd like to scroll back and start with those exercises, you can go back to the shows here on this channel, Fallawsophy with Jennifer Fallaw, and watch forward from there. So what we're trying to do is get rid of the darker energy from traumas and life. The programming that doesn't make any sense that came from somebody else. Yeah, we're still going to fit in and we're still going to function in society enough, but we don't have to be a victim of it, especially in your own mind. a lot of us have become just that and suffer terribly from the opinions and the words and the actions of others that aren't even in our life anymore. They live on in your mind for a very long time. Excuse me. Even somebody on the playground when you were a kid who had some opinion about you or said something terrible, went on with their life and never thought of it again, and you kept it forever. You know, oh, I'm a geek, or I'm a loser, or I'm a fat, or I'm too tall, or I'm whatever it was that they said to hurt your feelings. And even though it came from an immature child or a parent, parents are the worst. Not that they say the worst things, but you give their opinion the most value. And it's funny how we will give so much value to the opinion of a villain. Always asking, well, why? Why do they think that of me? You know? Is this something I don't see about myself? Does everybody think this of me? Maybe this is my reality. Maybe this is true. Well, you get to choose what's true. They don't. And they don't even remember you anymore. So, over time, the traumas that we've suffered, the opinions that we've kept, have formed this image and this opinion of ourselves. And within our energetic body, we've kept the darkness, the dark energy of all of that. And I just describe it as bubbles within this energy field around us. And if our goal is to raise our vibration, meaning you're pulling in more divine light of creation from God, if that is our goal, then these dark bubbles are taking up too much space. We will not be able to achieve that. In the same, well, we don't step over the line into ego. Ego gets a bad rap because people take it too far. Well, I can't have any kind of self-esteem. I can't think any highly of myself at all. I have to believe all these bad things so that I stay humble. No, staying humble is not being arrogant. Like, I'm great and you're not. That's arrogance. I'm better than you. And as we walk this journey, we understand that no, that's not something we want to embrace. We don't embrace that. We embrace the concept that we are all a piece of God, and each one is individually perfect and beautiful and worthy of love. But we cannot really be truly worthy of love. Like, we'll accept it if we're hating ourselves. Okay? So, if this is our goal to become evolved and to be kind to humanity, the other pieces of God, to love our brothers and sisters, why do we leave ourselves out? There's one piece, even the nicest of spiritual people who truly do love their brothers and sisters and truly do see everybody else that way. They'll see themselves in a terrible way. And so that piece of God is left out. And then we're not accepting in the love that is sent to us. We block it. No, I'm sorry, that's unacceptable because I'm not worthy of that. And people try to love you and they try to compliment you and they try to be there for you, and you're just like, oh, they're just being nice. Yeah, okay, whatever. You're blocking it. You're not allowing the love that's being sent to you to come in, even all the way up to God, to Jesus. Same thing, really. It gets complicated. So if we're really going to be love, high vibrational, and start to consciously create positively. You can't, I mean, you can chip away at that creation with negative thought and actions and everything else, but this is nothing, has nothing to do with like manipulation, which is witchcraft. Nothing to do with that. We don't embrace anything dark, but we're creating out right now all the time. I could just be a player in your reality. The whole thing could be your reality, and the whole thing could be mine. So, why not create a better one? Why not stop self sabotaging, chipping away at the positive creation, the dreams, and the happiness, and everything that you seek that we beg God for? Which is not a positive way to pray. Thanking God for these positive things coming in your future is better, because that's stepping into full belief that even before you ask, it is given, as long as you allow it. So we've been going through these steps to make more space for the divine light, to remember who we really are. We are here, we are a piece of God, and we're having a human experience. And throughout, if you remain in a perfect environment, and perfect is an opinion, by the way. So let's say an environment with very little struggle. You don't really learn much, or experience much, or understand the difference. And so we come into these lifetimes in different places as different people to have all these experiences for the elevation of the soul. And so if you're doing this now, you've probably been around quite a few times. And so it's time for us to finally give the love and support that, and we don't stop when we do that. A lot of people do this. Well, it's all about me now. I'm not going to do anything for anybody else. It's all about me. I'm going to stay alone. Screw everybody. Screw love. Screw life. Screw everything else. It's all about me. I'm going to be cold and stoic, or, cut up. That, you know what? You're failing. That is a failure. You're not ready for this kind of thing if that's what you're doing. This is something that we do when we've already chosen to be love, be light, be productive, be creators. But there's one last thing that's in the way. And so I'm going to walk you through this exercise, but my gift is to explain lengthy and complicated things in a very simple way. It's called grace. It opens your eyes, and yes, I do know exactly what I'm doing. It's to shower you in grace. It's to explain it such a way that gets past all of your programming. It's so simple, there's no way you're going to miss it. It gets in, and it wakes you up. And it opens your eyes. Grace opens your eyes to God. And who is God? There's definitely a very big piece at the center of everything, but God is you too. So, the self-love exercise is basically visualization. You don't have to be in meditation. You can be if you want to. I do suggest that you go to a high vibrational place in meditation and pray before and ask Archangel Michael, Jesus, God to be with you for protection. Because when you go into an altered state like that, You need to be specific about where you're going. You could end up somewhere that's not so good. Okay? Self love exercise is basically taking a look at yourself from the outside in. A lot of people don't want to do that because what do they initially see? All of their faults. We're not going to do that. That's what we've been doing all along. Well, I'm not perfect because of this, and I'm not perfect because of that, and everybody else's opinions, and I'm trying to live up to everything, and I have to be this, or I have to be that, or I have to be all these things, and it just gets so exhausting trying to be acceptable to whoever it is that you gave power to over your identity. So we're just going to, first, before we do this, we're going to take a look at the truth about you, the way you've treated people. And if I'm going through this and you guys are like, well, yeah, I was pretty nasty to that person, and yeah, I totally was selfish, and I've been all these things, well, let's change that now. Okay? But most of you are humanitarians. You came to the right room. So you're going to understand what I'm saying. So I want you to take a look at the way you've been treated, or the way you treat people on average. Okay? Most of the time. The times you held back for their benefit, the times you gave, whether of anything physical, emotional, like who you've really been the whole time. Let's go ahead and acknowledge that. My voice is just ruined. Sorry, I've been talking for like a month or so. I don't even know. So like who you really are, like you know who you really are. You know that inside, but you also know who you've had to become to survive because of all the predators that want to attack the soft-hearted person that you are. And I have too. I have too. So take a look at yourself as if you were someone else to get past all of your programming. Someone else who knows the whole story about you. Just picture yourself. Now, I don't want to say, oh my God, I need to lose weight. And I just, oh, my hair. And, don't do that. Don't do that. So look at yourself as someone else. Someone you know the entire story of. About someone that you see everything good that they've done. All of your deeds. And then and then kind of like scroll quickly throughout your life and take a look at all the times where you gave, where you loved, where you really tried, where you counseled, where you did everything you could for someone else. And even left yourself wanting so that they would be happy, so that they would be okay. And, parents, we do this all the time. That you can go ahead and include that. That's good stuff right there. That's the biggest lesson in that. And ask yourself, this person I see here, as you scroll through all of this, you're going to start to love this person more and more and more and more. And then ask yourself, if this was my daughter, my son, what would I want for them? What do they deserve? What do they really deserve? And you would say, well, she's been kind. She's been giving to a fault. She's been attacked terribly. And I see why. I see that she didn't deserve that. I see that she's fought through it, that she kept going, and still did not become too corrupted. And if this was my daughter, what would I want her for her? The best. She deserves the best. She deserves all of that she has been giving out to flow into her now. And then remember that this person that you're looking at is not your daughter or your son. It's God's. And then remember, if it is God's, then it is God. And how have you been treating him? And then I want you to remember all of the things that you would have come to this person. The joy, the comfort, the nice words, the peace. And then give it to yourself. Then treat yourself the way you would treat that person. Now, if you take a look at yourself and the dirty deeds are a little bit higher on the list than the good, well, we can change that now. We can do a little better now, okay? Most of you, it won't be. It won't be. Treat yourself like that and accept nothing less from somebody else from now on. Like, if you're going to invite new people into your life, it doesn't mean you just like sever all ties with everybody who's ever been, but just you can change the way you behave with these people that are around you and say, I'm sorry. I'm not accepting that anymore. That's unacceptable. I mean, and then shift your perception again. Look at yourself as your daughter. Look at yourself as your son. How is that person treating them? What would you have your son or daughter turn around and say? Would you want them to keep accepting that behavior? The rejection, the harsh words, the control, all of that? No. But is there anything that you can do for your son or daughter in that moment? No. It's up to them. It's up to them to turn around and say, no, I deserve better than that. This is how we walk through it. So, since the beginning, we've been taught to think of everyone before yourself, especially if you grew up with religion. Be humble, okay? Don't think too highly of yourself. Everybody tells you that. Oh, don't, be humble. Don't think highly of yourself. Don't be vain. So there's all these things that are the extreme on the other side of the line that are lower vibrational things to be vain, controlling, egotistical, all these things. We're told not to be. Don't do that. And so we take it to the extreme and we don't like ourselves at all. Can't even accept a compliment. Okay? We're taught to think of everybody before ourselves and have. But it's not selfish to think of yourself too. Some people, they will just shift to the extreme. Okay, now I'm selfish and I'm going to, screw you and your feelings and everything else. And they start destroying all the relationships in their life and children and everything else. And no, 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 that's not how you do it. You're just going to want to include yourself too. Understand that people in your life may not like that. If you're a giver, there are people that have no idea that they are an energy vampire. This exists. They will breadcrumb you, and they will come around. Oh, Mom, you'll have children like this too. Oh, Mom, I love you so much, and blah, 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 blah. Mine aren't like this. I'm not saying my kids are. I'm just saying I've heard thousands of stories over the years from the work that I do. Looks into people's personal lives, things they share with me. So what they'll have is, selfish children, and the children will come in and they'll, oh, Mom, I love you so much. Here, let me do the dishes or whatever, and oh, by the way, hey, I can have $100, like they're giving you breadcrumbs and they're coming in a low vibrational state. They're getting filled up. They're getting their battery charge from you. So it doesn't matter if it's children, if it's spouses, if it's friends. It's not always obvious, And then we settle for these tiny little breadcrumbs like, wow, that means so much because they're really not there for me most of the time. And now they're coming in there. They must really, they're supposed to be really showing me that they care. And they give you a little breadcrumb. They suck up your positive energy and they feel great and they're off and you feel abandoned and empty. Energy vampire. They'll bait you, drain you, and take off. And they'll be back next time they feel low. And we'll accept the bare minimum because we got so used to that. We'll accept bare minimum from people. Understand that you do deserve reciprocity. You do deserve people in your life that are going to give as much as you do. Now, you're humanitarians. This is your life path. You're probably not going to get as much as you give, okay? And that's okay. But I've learned from my own life lessons and from thousands of others that most often, if you get used to somebody who gives you breadcrumbs, you'll just keep following the path through the forest and eating little breadcrumbs. Okay, I'm fine. This is fine. Everything's fine. And you're starving to death. They're over there eating the whole meal and sandwiches and all kinds of stuff, and they're just flicking you breadcrumbs. And you keep making them sandwiches, okay? And you're starving to death. At some point in time, you really have to take a step back and say, no. This girl, this boy that I looked at, who deserves a banquet, is getting breadcrumbs, and I see that. No, that's not acceptable anymore. I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about gifts. I'm talking about effort. I'm talking about love. I'm talking about communication, reciprocity. If someone in your life's behavior is keeping you depressed, keeping you stuck in cycles, making you feel drained, the best way you can change that, especially if you can't walk away from somebody, is to let them know, well, things have changed. I've been given to you and to you and to you and to everybody else. you know, I'm not going to continue doing that until I see you give back. The only one that can save you from that is you. And people say, "Oh, I'm putting up boundaries." I hate the word boundaries. Don't even say boundaries to me. I don't know why. Communication. Speak your truth. Just saying, you know what? No, I deserve better than that. No, that's not enough. You know, if I'm going to go find somebody, I'm feeding all of you with the energy, or just one person. I'm going to go find somebody that's going to be on the same level as me, that's going to be the back and forth exchange. I'm not asking for any more than I give. But I'm not going to leave myself out, because in return, I am not loving myself, and I am not loving that piece of God that is here. I am my own worst enemy by accepting breadcrumbs, by accepting your negative behavior, your insults, anything like that. And what's the best way to say that? Well, I'm sorry. That behavior is unacceptable. And so, how do we love ourselves? By refusing to be trained. There's going to be times. I'm not talking about, well, I'm sorry, what are you going to give me if I'm nice to you? What are you going to? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that happens on a regular basis, something you've been doing to yourself. Allowing these people to take from you and to diminish you and to make you feel bad about yourself or drained or stuck or whatever. You're allowing this cycle to continue. You need to break the cycle. You need to say, well, this isn't really who I am anymore. I've grown, and I'm not going to pull in. I'm not going to keep sending you energy so that you feel great, and in return be depleted and take in your dark energy. I choose to live. I choose to thrive. I choose to be happy. And the only person that can release you from your unhappiness is you. Okay? So, we're going to start in our own mind. And this is part of the programming. I mean, if you were born, let's say other planets exist, they do. But let's just, for sake of argument, say they do. And you were born into a different society that is completely different than ours. You're going to have an entirely different set of rules. What is acceptable, what is not acceptable, what is beautiful, what is real, what is not real. A whole different set of religion, everything could be completely foreign and different than what it is here. And we hold on so tightly to whatever the programming is that, ever since you opened your eyes as a baby, you're taught what's okay, what's not okay, what's real, what's not real, how to act, how not to act, what is beautiful, what is not beautiful, what is bad. In truth, the only thing that is good or bad is energy and the projection of that. No matter what the rule set is, no matter what we look like, no matter where we are, what we're doing, it is the projection of energy. That is the universal truth. The universal truth is that God is the highest vibration, the center of everything, the center of the bullseye, the unmoved mover, the one that holds everything in place. And we have dimensions that are different vibrational spectrums for the pieces of God to experience in, because every separation of self of God must exist at a different vibrational frequency, a spectrum. That is a dimension. And on from there, we have realities, collective realities, we have personal realities, we have alternate realities. And we are all pieces of the Creator creating our reality right now. And then we have opinions, we have programming, we have society's rules that change all the time. Fashion changes all the time, and what is beautiful and what is not beautiful. There was a point in time when it was, okay to have a little weight on you. I mean, that was beautiful. I mean, it all changes. So what is really true? What is really real? It is the energy that you choose to project. The reality that you choose to create. Is it positive? Is it love? We'll call it love, highest vibration. Or is it the destruction of that love, which is lower vibration? Wherever you go in the universe, the multiverse, and every different, it goes on forever. That is why there is a beginning with the thought of creation from God to do this, to separate himself and have experiences, or that is the beginning, and there is no end. Because for every thought, there is another, and there is something new to experience, and on and on and on and on. Now tell me, that the programming that exists in your little life, your little personal reality, your little creation right now on this little rock, in the immense, never-ending eternities, dictates who you really are. It's minuscule. It's a blink of an eye. The kid on the playground, the parents that you had this time, the spouse, the boyfriend, the job that you lost, whatever, it all just really becomes very meaningful as an experience, but meaningless when it comes to your worthiness and who you and the your worthiness as a soul. Are you worthy to receive this? Are you worthy to receive love? Can you let go of this programming that has imprisoned you? And whether simulation or experience you're having right now, and remember who you really are, and then get it. In my mind, what am I telling myself? Everything else that they said. And most of what other people say is because they feel threatened by you in some way. Especially if you're projecting high vibrational energy towards them and they're vibrating low and they're like highly irritated by you. I don't like you. You're ugly. You're wrong. You're not doing what I want you to do. You're not being this player that I've chosen you to be in my reality. Do you see when you blow it up to the truth, how meaningless the programming really is? And so what are we telling ourselves, really? We're just rerunning the program. And if we're rerunning the program, we cannot move on to a better one. That's where the positive thought comes in. And people say, oh, yeah, positive thought. Yeah. Not, be nice to yourself, whatever. You think positive thoughts. I don't want to do the work to do that. I'm going to let everything trigger me, and I'm going to fall back into negative thoughts and fear. If you think this way and you wake up, showering you with grace today, if you wake up, you will realize that you're holding yourself in your own prison by believing that their opinion of what's beautiful, their opinion of what's worthy, their opinion of who's smart. Oh, well, I've gone to the school and I am smart because I completed these programs and they actually gave me a piece of paper. Well, congratulations. You're still a jerk. You really haven't learned much other than ego. If you're treating people badly, you're not wise. The goal is to be wise. You know, I never stopped studying. I never stopped learning. I went to college for 7 years at night while I ran a business and lived by myself. I didn't give a crap about the piece of paper. I wanted the knowledge. I have an entire library of books that I've read. I don't do a lot of reading anymore because I'm so freaking busy, but you know, that's the kind of person I am. Oh, well, that's something that I need to know more about. I will read and learn. But one thing that I have never stopped doing is the study of human behavior, the study of. I've always been very focused on what's going to make someone else happy. It's going to raise their vibration. Does that make sense now? Laughter. Laughter raises your vibration. Okay, so I could go on forever, but another thing is, as a child, how useful have you had to be loved, to receive, to be acceptable? How useful have you had to be? I can talk from the experience of all the other people that I've talked to all along the road, but as well as mine. As a child, you had to get things right. Oh, you know, don't touch that, it's hot. Okay, I won't touch that. Oh, good girl. You had to do your chores. You had to not fight with your sister, even though she did something to you and you should totally retaliate, but you had to not do that. You had to keep the peace. Don't be a problem. Don't cause a problem. Be a good girl. Get good grades. Get the answers right. Do your chores. And then later on, you move on to you're in sports, you're in whatever it is, win the game. All to give, and on, all to give whoever is in charge of you. Or your parents, you know, oh, no, she's going to go to college, or she's going to do this, or she got this grade point average in school, and she didn't get in trouble, and she's got this boyfriend, or she's got this or that, and it's just all to give them something to brag about at the dinner parties. What if you didn't do those things? What if you did stand up for yourself sometimes and caused a little bit of problem? Is that when you got in trouble? Is that when you were not a good girl or a good boy? Yes, it is. See, we've been taught, and it is good to achieve for yourself, of course, but we've been taught that if we do not reach a certain benchmark, if we do not apply these labels to us, if we do not achieve, oh, if we fail in any way, you're bad. You're not deserving of our praise or our love or that. You know, and that is very, very, very common. So we're doing that to ourselves in our own mind. Oh, you got that wrong. Oh, you made a mistake there. Oh, you gained some weight. Oh, nobody's going to want you. Oh, there's something wrong with you. You look a little. You've accumulated a little wear and tear over the years. Oh, you're a certain age now. Age is ridiculous. You're either here or you're not. In truth. But we'll say, okay, so what is old and what is young? Well, it's all relative to where you stand. What is beautiful? It all depends on your programming. So we, in our mind, are our own worst enemy. We'll become imprisoned. We will not move. We will not do anything unless it's an absolute sure thing because we're so damn afraid to make any mistake at all. And we won't let people in, or we'll choose bad behaviors because we think we couldn't possibly deserve to be treated nicely or to be unconditionally loved. Because we have learned that since day one, love has conditions. So, choose to receive now. Choose to see yourself as, if you have children, the best thing to do to see yourself like God does, or the angels do, is to look at yourself as your own child who's walked through a lifetime, and you know the whole story, all your intentions, all their deeds, everything, and look at that person and say, what do they really deserve? What does she really deserve now? And if your answer is everything, then give it to yourself and stop with the negative talk. All right, let's get some questions in. Go ahead and do your Rumble rants. I've got 25 minutes. And believe me, everything I'm telling you, I'm completely guilty of. Absolutely all of it. All of it. I am way too hard on myself all the time. Why? Because I grew up with parents. And when I look back, my mother loved me. I had a good childhood. I wasn't abused. I mean, the stepfather, challenging. Okay. Clearly a catalyst written in. All right. I understand that now. But there was always some kind of condition. Did you do this? You can't even go have fun. Did you do all your chores? Did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? And the list was so freaking long. I used to think that my parents just had children. So they had house slaves. I mean, it was ridiculous. Did you get the grades? Did you do this? And then my mother would stand over there. Whenever I did something good, she'd stand over there and brag to the company. Oh, she plays the piano and she sings and she does this and she gets good grades and she never gets in trouble and she does all these things. Oh, okay, I'm a good girl. How good do you have to be to receive? I don't know. But we need to stop doing that. Now that we're loving to everybody else, let's be loving to ourselves. Okay. The voice. All right. Red, White, and Blondie. This made me ugly cry when you externalized it to be one of my kids instead of me. That's what you got to do. Because we've conditioned ourselves to disregard yourself. Oh, well, you can't love yourself. You can't ask for anything. You should never ask for anything in return. Well, we're not. We're not. We're just stop accepting the bad stuff in. Stop accepting being held at arm's length or put on the shelf or left last. Stop doing that. So this made me ugly cry when you externalized it to be one of my kids instead of me. I really do everything to love everyone, and I know you do. I know you do. It's been said bondholders have been paid 1%. Can you ask and confirm? Not publicly. I cannot. But thank you for the Rumble rant. Deek49, hi Jen, this is Denise. Where do you see me March 23rd, 2026, and what am I doing? Denise. Trying to get an energetic signature here. It's really hard to do with just first name. There's a lot of Denises. So I'm trying to go and watch you do the Rumble rant. I heard roller coaster. I see water. This isn't coming in like it normally does. I probably overworked. Are you going to San Diego? I mean, you know what I keep saying is like Belmont's Park of San Diego, which is like a it's like a theme park next to the water. You're going somewhere. Oh, you're going on a trip. You're doing something like that. I could be malfunctioning. I don't know. I'm just really tired. RCR13Q. Hi, Jen. My mom and I are flying out of state on 218 to 225. Do you see any issues? Now, this is easier because she's already told me what's happening. And she's got a picture right there. Nope. So what happens here is I start getting these short little, like you're scrolling through videos on your phone. Little clip, little clip, little clip, little clip, little clip. You're fine. Everything went well. You're fine. You get home, you get there, you get home safely. Hi, Jen. Jane here. Will I be purchasing 2201 in Puerto Rico? Yes. Strong possibility of that as of now. Montana Treasures. Betty O here. Thinking of hiring Kara H. or Sean B. for accounting. Good choice. Which one? Kara H. Very analytical mind. Sean B. Same. Who's going to show up? Be more dependable. Sean B. Kara H. might have. I'm not going to say this is a bad thing. She puts family first. Okay, so but there might be some situations where she won't be there as much, or be she might be in and out. Okay, I'd go for Sean. Holly Kennedy, hi Jen. I hope you're doing well. I am. How far do I have to drive to the Redemption Center? 35 minutes. Oh my god. I lost it. Now I have to start all over. Okay. Oh, that sucks. Where was I? Okay. No, I did it again. That's so annoying. That is so annoying. Ugh. Use the little finger. Because I don't. Okay. All right. I already did that. You added another $5. You didn't have to do that, but thank you. KW124, Kathy Weber here. Please, what am I going? Okay, stop asking these guys. I don't like it today. I've been doing these yearly forecasts and my mind is just blown. What am I doing on July 4th this year? You're on some kind of retreat. I did hear honeymoon, if that makes any kind of sense, but or it could be something that sounded like that. I feel like I'm somewhere rustic. I see people gathering around a campfire. I don't know if this is family compound or a family trip or something like that, but yeah. There are trees, there's water, there's a campfire. It's not the beach. So I don't know where you are. Flagel 55. Hi, Jen WP here. Do you see me moving to my RV full time? Into my RV full time? Not yet. No. Jen, my name is Kathy F. Where do you see me in February 26th? On February 26th. At dinner. Restaurant. Weather Joe. Hi, Joe. Do you have any messages from my mom, Shirley Nichols? Thank you. Well, you're okay. She keeps saying you're good. You're good. You're okay. Not to worry. And then she left. You're worrying too much about something. You're going to be fine. It's going to be fine. All right. Chosen 3333. Where do you see me moving to? That is up. I don't know where you are. Stab in the dark. That's something that would take more time and private to do. Gabriel. Wisconsin or Tennessee? Hi, Jen. My name is Keisha. After my hubby passed a few years back, I said I'd never wanted to marry again. What do you think will actually happen? I think he'll marry again. It looks like a casual tropical wedding where you're wearing almost like a print dress. It kind of looks like Hawaii or something like that. I see the ring go on. There's lots of people cheering in the background. Trying to get a year. 28. Just when you think you have it all figured out, your divine plan tells you that you don't. We cannot see everything that's coming, or we won't take the steps to get there. Like, most of the time, I have no idea what's coming for me, for myself. You guys might think, oh, she's so psychic, she knows everything, what's coming at every turn. I have no idea. I have assumptions. I have my own goals, my own plans, for what my work will be. But for me personally, I have no idea how I'm going to pull it all together. I really don't. You just have to live it. Hi, Jen. Stephen H. here. I had a dream and I was fighting something. I kicked Donna and woke up. What was it? Will it come back? Psychic attack. Very common. This is what I do, and I don't have that anymore. When I say my prayer, say your damn prayers at night, people. I don't know what you're doing if you're not praying before you go to sleep. You're going into like the body travels. I mean, the soul travels during the night. You're going all over the place. Okay? You need to pray for protection for you, your family, the house. Be thankful for everything that's been given to you. All right, let me start on that. Every night, without fail, before you go to sleep. Otherwise, you're just walking into the jungle unprotected. Okay? So what I do is I ask, of course, I say my prayers, and then I ask Archangel Michael and Gabriel to be with me in my dreams. I really never see them, but it's almost like there's always like somebody that looks like somebody else with me. Okay? And ever since I started doing that, I don't have nightmares anymore. The only time I really did was when I was sick, like I didn't feel good. I don't get attacked like that anymore. So that is if they can't get to you in your waking hours, they'll try to get into your mind in your dream, and that'll, oh my god, that was scary. I wonder if something bad's gonna happen. They'll try to put fear into your mind so you carry it with you and dwindle down your vibration. No. It's another reason why we don't watch scary movies and or like low vibrational things. Like, you don't have to go be a fanatic about it and not watch anything, but just if something's like just terrible, think about the energies that is projecting. Energy knows no bounds. It'll come through your screen, through your phone. It doesn't know time. It doesn't know distance. You connect with it and it will find you. That's why we need to practice our psychic protection. We need to ask for protection. We need to say our prayers, especially when you go into the dream state, because the dream state is a created state by you that is common ground. And they can slip right in there. All right. Hi, Jen. Linda. Will my left wrist heal from it being broken September 18, 2025? If it still hurts and my fingers go a little numb sometimes. Let me see. So the way that healed, there's a nerve that goes right underneath there where the bone's healed. And it healed just a little bit wrong. Either that or you've got a little bit of scar tissue build up there, and it just touches that nerve sometimes when you move the wrong way. Is that a nerve or is that a vein? Well, both, actually. I think what I'm looking at is probably a vein. So sometimes you're getting that vein just pinched off a little bit for circulation. I don't know what to do about that. Med bed. All right, to stop the rubber rounds, did I get all these? I have a client in 10 minutes. Okay. Pretty sure I'm doing one on Thursday. I might have some appointments, and it's not the RV appointment. That would be cool. That would be cool if that was on Thursday. But I might be going out to do something in the morning. I'll let you know. I will be on tomorrow with Real News Live with Mike and Jen. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can go to jenniferfallaw.com. No. You can go to Fallawsophy.com. The link is in the write-up of the show. If you would like to get a healing with me, they're $59 right now. Big sale. And of course, all payments on that website are donations. If you cannot afford a healing, email me anyway and tell me what's wrong. I still do a lot of free work. What else is going on? Oh, over at jenniferfallaw.com, I have the weight loss healing combo. You get 2 for, you get 3 for what? For 2? Price of 2. These yearly forecast readings really take it out of me because it's basically like a remote viewing session. And I'm starting, it's fun. It's fun. I'm starting at your exchange appointment and just like viewing everything that pops up for you for the rest of the year. I've changed it a little bit and looking at your financial timeline and then taking any questions about anything that I missed. But I'm super focused all day long. It's just super focused. And so my brain is getting tired. I knew that was going to happen, so I purposely scheduled off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday without readings. I still am going to do the show tomorrow morning, but I'm going to give my brain a little bit of a rest. It's like super intensive focus to do this kind of reading all day long, every day. Super fun, though. I know, like, the whole process. I mean, I've seen the whole process over and over again with differences, and it's all real, people. I'm telling you, even the med beds. Looks like we can donate to get medbed tickets to an existing project that was pre-approved, or from other tiers. But just in case, make sure you have something written up. If you have to submit for that, from what I've seen, you don't. Okay? What else do I know? You will get an initial deposit in your account. And that is in advance with the bank. It's basically the way I told you. It's basically what I told you a long time ago. How you have your treasury account paired up with a big bank, which is your holding account. The holding account waiting for final authorizations that the hard copies, the pieces of paper, your bonds, your currency was received by the treasury, and everything is good to go. It's about a 4 to 6 week window. They do put a big amount in that initially on the same day as your appointment. You can go to the bank 2 days later and see if and up that amount if you want. That is an advance from the bank. And I thought we're waiting to go to gold. It's not. For full access to funds to your treasury account, it's not. It's waiting for final authorization. Yes, we have received the actual paper currencies, bonds, whatever, for this customer, or from the exchange center who sent it in. And this treasury account, this trust is all set up and ready for full access. It takes about 4 to 6 weeks for all those authorizations to come back from the U.S. Treasury. Just talking about the U.S. right now. So, it's going to be real easy. It's not difficult. Oh, and the other thing I saw is just like the security check when you walk in. They ask for your ID to verify your identity or that it's your appointment. But there's like a little, I don't know, let's say they've got a device. Okay, and they scan your ID. And then you put your thumbprint on there and they know absolutely everything about you. There is no vibration scan. There is no, but the only thing they do is they pull up, they know like if you're on some international watch list or a criminal or whatever, it shouldn't be, doing this exchange for you, but most people, that's it. And they absolutely know where you live. They know everything about you. Isn't that cool? Kind of scary too. Anyway, I gotta go. I got somebody coming in 6 minutes. Try the exercise and then speak nicely to yourself. And whenever you forget, remember the girl or boy that you're looking at when you shifted perspective and you took a look at yourself from the outside in. And what does the world see of you? What is really true of you? Not everybody's stupid opinions that suits their narrative, that boosts their ego, or diminishes you to make them feel better about themselves. What is really true about who you are and how you've conducted yourself? And then what do you really deserve? And then surround yourself with people that will allow that waterfall of good karma to come flowing into you. Just remove the rocks from your stream and just let it come flowing in to you. Okay? Okay. Self-love exercise. Alrighty. Everybody have a good day. I will see you tomorrow morning on Real News Live with Mike and Jen on Rumble.